Hi guys, this is Kirslyn with Planted in Pots. Today I'm going to be propagating my Monstera Adansonii. It's getting quite leggy in a couple places. My outside one is a little bit more intense, so I'll show you that as well. And the outdoor one lives in a terracotta pot. You can see this inside one is in a clear grow pot, so you can really see the roots actually developing in there. My dog is very interested in what's going on. So I'm going to do two different methods of propagating. So you can do either one. You can put the cuttings directly into soil, actually 3 different methods. Or if you are scared to cut your Monstera, something really easy that's a little less scary if it's your first time propagating is you can take these nodes and pin them into the soil. So let me grab a pin so I can show you. I've actually done this way quite a few times lately because it's easy peasy. So if you take that node and then you take this little pin, I have a link for these in my products I use on PlantedinPots.com, so if you're interested. And then you just are going to take this and stick it in there. So it will be against the soil. Don't tip it over apparently, then it won't stay. You can also use a bobby pin for that. I'm not that skilled. These are easier, they're cheap. You get a whole pack of them. I use them for a lot of different plants. But today you can see how this one is kind of wrapped in there. Maybe you can see. I had already been doing that a couple times and it's still just a little scraggly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water propagate the inside one. And then I'm going to soil propagate the outdoor one. So you can see both. So when you're propagating these, it's very easy. You're going to want to locate the node. Maybe. Because that is where roots will form. So in order to propagate, all you need is one of these. So you can see there's one up here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 on this branch alone. So clean, sharp snippers of some kind. And boop, boop. Should I do it there? Or should I do it there? There. Oh man. It's what happens when you become a crazy plant person and are not afraid to propagate anymore. So you have all these little guys. This one's a little funky. And here, let me show you close up. A little fuzzy. There you go. That's the little node. This one's a little bit bigger. There you go. That's all you need. So when you're propagating in water, the key is to have the node in the water. Very simple. That's all you need. Node, water. Change the water. I recommend every 3 to 5 days, and I actually use like a gallon of purified water because Florida water's not that great, at least not here. Some people have said they use tap water, no problem. If you have good water, use tap water. yeah, and just change every 3 to 5 days, especially if it starts to look kind of gunky on the side. Some plants do it faster than others. I've noticed with pothos in particular, pothos, however you want to say it, you do you. They get a lot of like crap on the side, it's weird. And ZZ plants especially. So anyways, any kind of vasey glass jar thing will do. I got this fancy schmancy one from one of my best friends. It's my favorite. So you just make sure that the nodes are submerged. You can put more than one cutting in there. And then once they start growing roots, you can pot them up in the same pot that they were in before with the mother plant. Oh, don't spill water, that in there. Probably not that small of a pot. He's getting a little crazy in there. But hypothetically, you could put it in the same pot, or you can grow a whole new plant. So this plant, along with my outdoor plant, in the same 2 cuttings. I've actually made friends of mine and stuff quite a few plants from these guys. So they grow pretty fast, which is really cool. And what I'm going to do is stick one of these pins in here actually for the stem I just cut up. Maybe he'll grow just one more little stem or root there. He actually still had a pin in there, so you can see. I could also do this one. Actually, we are gonna do this one. Ta-da! Look at how long that one is. I had him pinned before, but we'll just do that. Why not? When in Rome, right? So for the outdoor ones, I'm going to follow the same process with chopping up this extremely long, outrageous vine that was climbing up my window and started peeling off the paint of the wall. And as far as those kind of gross looking aerial roots, I'm just going to chop them off. Once these babies are all chopped up, I'm going to simply dip them in a rooting hormone and then put them in my aeroid soil mix. And then as far as caring for the cuttings when they're in the soil, I try to keep a little more on the moist side so I don't let them dry out completely when I'm propagating in soil. I let them get a little bit drier and then I give them some water. Whereas the mother plant or a fully established plant, I would let it dry completely out and then water. So I just keep it a little bit more on the moist side. I don't always use a rooting hormone, but I'm going to on these guys. Just speeds up the process, makes them root easier since I'm putting them back into the same pot with the mom plant. And when you use a rooting hormone, one of the main things to remember is you don't want to dip the cutting directly into the jar of rooting hormone. So pour it out on something. I like to use a little saucer. It's easy, it makes cleanup a breeze. And it's all plant stuff, so why not? You just dip your cutting into water and then dip it in the rooting hormone, dip it in the dirt. Repeat, repeat, repeat for every single cutting. As far as soil goes, I use my aeroid soil for all of my Monstera, and really the point is to make sure that it's as chunky and well draining as possible. Make sure that they're in a well draining pot. This one, I actually almost lost him because I thought he was in a well enough draining pot. He's in a pot like this. You can see it has a hole at the bottom. Oops. His roots had actually clogged the hole. So although it was in a pot that was well draining, the moisture does hold in pots like this a lot. So for the amount of light that he was getting, the top felt dry and the bottom was retaining all that moisture. So the stems started turning black and some of the roots started turning black. And that is when I moved him to this pot. And so now he's falsely potted along with all the rest of my plants. And that way I can see what the heck is going on in there. If he gets overwatered, I just take him out like this and make sure and let him drain. Make sure he's getting some brighter light on that day and then stick him back in. And he's happy as pie. I don't know if that's a saying, but go with it. So this guy will have some new friends soon. And I'm gonna put these cuttings on a windowsill, make sure they get bright enough light so that they can grow some roots. And that's it, easy as can be. I actually use this same method for my philodendron if I want to propagate in water, and pothos or pothos, however you wanna say it, to each their own. Potato, potato. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, all of that good stuff, leave a comment below or chat with me on Instagram at PlantedinPots. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.